Welcome to Brunswick Cable Access News. I'm Don Keating. Hey, let's take a look at the week's headlines, and those include Brunswick man arrested after throwing an egg from the Kalahari balcony, construction delays prompt school bus rerouting, and 2 new officers join the Brunswick Hills Police Department. These stories and more, and we introduce you to our pet of the week, Collie. Join me now here on BAT TV for Brunswick Cable Access News. A 22-year-old Brunswick man was arrested last week after he allegedly dropped an egg from a balcony onto Erie County security officer's patrol car and posted the incident on social media. According to the Erie County Sheriff's Department reports, the cruiser had been parked outside of the Kalahari Resort Hotel in Sandusky on August 19th when an egg was smashed on the hood of the vehicle. The officer assigned to the vehicle, as well as another officer, said they noticed a few individuals on the balcony of a nearby room and questioned those individuals, who denied involvement. Shortly after the incident, authorities discovered 2 different videos of the incident that had been posted on 2 Twitter accounts, one of which belonged to Jagger Alka, 22, of Brunswick. In that video, the man believed to be Alka is showing throwing an egg off of the hotel balcony before it lands on the cruiser, at which point he is heard yelling, "Connection." In a subsequent tweet, authorities said the man admitted to hitting the vehicle after subjects in a nearby room questioned him, allegedly writing, "It was me." Police located Alka in his room later that day, and after initially denying involvement, he allegedly confessed after being shown the video police had obtained. After being read his Miranda rights, the suspect allegedly told officers he made a serious mistake and apologized repeatedly. He also admitted to drinking at the time. He did reportedly say, however, that a comment made was not meant to be a threat. Alka was charged with vandalism, a 5th-degree felony, and was released on a $10,000 bond. In 2014, Alka was also arrested during a stay at the Kalahari Resort. Police records showed that at that time, management of the hotel received reports of a room being loud and a nude man running through the hallways. In addition to being evicted from Kalahari's property, Alka was also charged with underage consumption, obstructing official business, persistent disorderly conduct while intoxicated, and possession of marijuana. School buses throughout the community were late for pickups and drop-offs thanks to the first week of school. However, school district officials say those buses that pick up students on the district's south side were slightly later than usual thanks to delays caused by the first phase of the Laurel Road reconstruction project. According to Superintendent Michael Mayo, almost all the buses that travel to and through the areas adjacent to Laurel Road had to be rerouted for the first day of school, August 20th, as a result of the partial road closure between Pearl Road and Brittenell Drive. While the timing may be poor, Mayo said, the school district realizes it has to go with the flow and hopes parents will do the same. It's bad timing for sure, but it all comes down to how these projects are funded, Mayo said. We can't change that. Because the Laurel Road reconstruction project is being paid for with Ohio Public Works Commission grant funding, the work on Laurel Road was unable to get underway until last month when the funds were released for the 2018 projects statewide. While Mayo said the district was still working out the details associated with revamping bus routes earlier this week, he said the good news for the students, parents, and bus drivers alike is the fact that the work is expected to be completed by the end of October. This one isn't quite as disruptive as the Grafton Road project was last year, but it is still frustrating for sure, he said, but it will be over soon. For the first time since before voters approved a 5-year, $2.5 million levy to fund police daily police department operations in 2016, the township's police department has a full roster. Police Chief Tim Sopkovich told trustees this week that with the hiring of 2 new officers, the department is now fully staffed. A promise that was made to voters as part of the 2016 campaign. With the hiring of the newest police, Sergeant Chris Salvatore and Reserve Officer Ted Macronos, Sr., Sopkovich said the department's roster now includes 9 patrol officers and 3 sergeants. My goal all along has been to fill this department with adequate personnel, he told those in attendance at the August 14th Board of Trustees meeting. This is long overdue and very well needed. The 2 new officers were administered the oath of office August 14th and are now working for the department. Macronos Sr., who joins his son, Ted Macronos Jr., on the police department roster, actually started his career in 1986 with the Brunswick Hills Township Police Department. Sopkovich said Macronos Sr. first wore badge number 1323, which is now worn by his son, who pinned his father's new badge on last week. Macronos Sr.'s other son is also a law enforcement officer who works for the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. After leaving the department, Macronos Sr. went on to pursue a patrol position with the Olmsted Township Police Department, where he worked up the ladder and ultimately assumed the role of chief. Macronos Sr. also served as the commander of the Southwest Enforcement Bureau's snipers and, most recently, as a member of the Berea Police Department. Now that he is retired, Sopkovich said, Macronos Sr. expressed an interest in serving as the department's reserve officer, where he will fill in for other officers on an as-needed basis. He wants to help out our full-time guys on the department and brings with his extensive experience and knowledge, all at his own expense, Sopkovich said, noting that Macronos Jr. will work to back up officers in an emergency situation and will also work to help educate the public. As for Salvatore, Sopkovich said he brings prior experience working as a patrol officer for Northfield Township and most recently, Hinckley Township. He will become the department's 3rd shift sergeant, a position that has not been filled in several years, Sopkovich said. The Brunswick Board of Education unanimously approved legislation this week finalizing the cost for the first phase of construction at the site of the new Brunswick Middle School. Though the first phase of the project is limited to preparation of the site, located between Edwards and Vicenterre Middle Schools, Superintendent Michael Mayle said it is important to note that the cost of this portion of the project has come in, quote-unquote, slightly under budget. According to terms of the legislation the board approved August 20th, the school board has entered into a construction manager at-risk agreement with Hammond Construction for the project. Subsequently, Hammond Construction has since submitted the guaranteed maximum price for the initial phase of the work, which will be just over $1.3 million. Construction is slated to begin at the site of the new Brunswick Middle School the week after Labor Day, school district officials announced earlier this month. While construction of the 240,468 square foot school won't get underway until next spring, crews will begin to grade the parking lot and level the land to set the pad for the new building. Since Edwards and Vicenterre will remain open throughout construction, crews will create a new temporary parking lot, fence off the property that will be under construction to keep students, staff, and guests safe, and redirect both incoming and exiting traffic to Manhattan Avenue. Also included in this phase of construction will be the construction of 2 sediment basins that will catch runoff. Additionally, crews will demolish the retail properties the school district purchased at the corner of Pearl Road and Manhattan Avenue, as well as 5 residential homes the district purchased on Oxford and Princeton Drives. The first phase of construction is expected to wrap up the week of Thanksgiving, Sherson said. As far as the costs associated with the actual construction, Mayle said those will be presented to the school board early 2019 once the planning phase is complete. Construction of the building itself is expected to get underway in April 2019, with the school, which will house all of the district's students in 6th through 8th grades, expected to open at the start of the 2020-2021 school year. The township's fire department bid farewell to one of its longest-serving firefighters, paramedics, August 14th. After serving the department for more than 20 years, firefighter Chris Reinhardt retired from duty last week. Fire Chief Anthony Strazzo told those in attendance at the August 14th Board of Trustees meeting. Reinhardt started working as a volunteer for the department back in 1998, Strazzo said, and has been a faithful member of the department in the years since. Not only has he served as the department's EMS lieutenant for a number of years, but during this time as lieutenant, he was responsible for submitting the grant application that eventually secured the funding the department needed to purchase the power lifts that have since been installed in each of the department's rescue squads. Strazzo credits Reinhardt for doing a great job promoting the EMS within his department and says that his skills in the department and in helping to train others are quote-unquote second to none. For his years of dedication, Strazzo presented Reinhardt with a plaque which denotes not only the Fire Department Star of Life, the Maltese Cross, and the Brunswick Hills Fire Department patch. 20 years as a part-timer or a volunteer is a long time to do that. It is a lot of dedication, so we wanted to think outside the box and give him something else for his service, Strazzo said, noting the department also presented Reinhardt with a flag that was flown on the back of one of the department's engines. The members of the department signed the flag, which has been certified as having flown on engine 2011 to commemorate his 20 years of service, he said. As the items were presented to Reinhardt, his wife and children were asked to step forward to receive recognition for having supported him all of these years. Without the love of your family, it's difficult to get up for all of those middle of the night when the pager goes off, Strazzo said. When your wife sets out your shoes and helps you button your shirt as you try to get your faculties together, it can make all the difference. Reinhardt thanked the other members of the department for their thoughtfulness and told those in attendance that it has been a great honor to serve as a member of the department for the past 2 decades. I've gone from being a true volunteer with a paging system to telephone lines to everything being dispatched on the portable radios, so I've seen a lot of changes, he said. The township is definitely going in the right direction with the fire department. And welcome back. Boy, it has turned into a potpourri of weather across the Ohio Valley. Some areas receiving a lot of rain, some areas receiving very little, if any, during the past week. Let's take a look at our climatological data for this area for the next week. 7th to the 13th of September. Our average highs during that time frame, 76 to 74 degrees. And your overnight lows dip from 55 to 53 degrees. And boy, not too far from now, you'll be into the 40s for overnight lows on the average. Talking about fall coming up not too far from now. Your average rainfall is 0.91 inches for the week. Your outlook from the National Weather Service in as far as the potential of above or below normal temperatures, we can see from New England all the way into the Appalachians, and in particular Ohio and the Ohio Valley, there's about a 50 to 60% chance of above normal temperatures. So that looks like we are going to be warmer than normal for the next week. And as far as precipitation is concerned, do you have a chance to get your garden wetted down by Mother Nature? Oh yeah, there's a better than 30% chance of that. Let's take a look at that precipitation map now. And you can see much of the country from the Rockies all the way to the East Coast, at least a 33% chance of above normal precipitation, including Ohio and surrounding states. So depending on your locality, that could be a lot or a nominal amount of precipitation. Don't worry, a little further down the road, we're going to get into those autumnal storms, and when those come around, everybody will be getting that precipitation. Hey, I will be back in just a few seconds with your bulletin board announcements. Stay tuned. This October, Fire Prevention Month, the Brunswick Division of Fire will host the Brunswick Citizens Fire Academy. This academy is a hands-on, inclusive program designed for residents and business owners to learn about the Brunswick Division of Fire. Participants will be given the opportunity to interact with the Division of Fire members and gain first-hand knowledge about the administration, operations, facilities, and equipment, plus get insight on how our fire medics perform their duties and how they serve our community. Participation in the Academy is free of charge and will be available to city residents and business owners over the age of 18. Class size is limited to 15 participants and applications are available by following the link on the City of Brunswick website and must be submitted not later than Wednesday, September 19th for consideration. Once the applications are reviewed, the participants will be notified of their acceptance into the program. Classes will meet on Wednesdays for 4 weeks, beginning October 3rd, 2018, at 6:30 p.m. at the Brunswick Area Television Facility located at 4274 Manhattan Avenue, right next to the Vicentainer Middle School, and then move to one of the fire stations for a more interactive experience. The Brunswick Citizens Fire Academy is a great way to get a hands-on opportunity to learn about your local fire and emergency services. Would you like to hear your personal stories from local American Armed Forces veterans? If so, join Carl Bilski, a veteran of the U.S. Army, at the Medina Library September 9th from 7 until 8 p.m. Many earthworms call the compost bin at Susan Hambly Nature Center home. See how easy it is to add a worm compost bin to your yard. Fun information and crafts will be available for both children and adults. All ages are welcome. No registration is required for this free event on September 15th from noon until 5 p.m. The third Advanced Brunswick Public Forum will be held September 13th from 6 until 7:30 p.m. at the Brunswick City Hall. The City of Brunswick is updating its comprehensive plan and would like to gather community input in the process. The comprehensive plan, Advanced Brunswick, will serve as a guiding document that assesses existing conditions and future needs in order to provide strategic recommendations for the city's future. Advanced Brunswick will encompass all aspects of the community, from economic development and land use to transportation and infrastructure improvements, and parks and recreation enhancements. This is the last of 3 public forums where residents will be able to discuss the comprehensive plan. On a clear night under a dark sky, you can see about 2,000 stars with the unaided eye. You can look trillions of miles into space and see thousands of years into the past. If this sounds like something you would like to learn more about, attend a meeting of the Brunswick Astronomy Club. They meet the second Thursday of each month from 7:30 to 9 p.m. at the Brunswick Rec Center on Center Road. They are also hosting a public star party at Brunswick Lake on the 14th of September from 8 until 10 p.m. Would you like more information on the event? Contact them through their website, which is listed below. And coming up next, we're going to take a look at this week's animal available for adoption, and his name is Collie. He is a great dog, and I think you will like him as much as I did. So stay tuned. And welcome back. Thanks for coming back here to Brunswick Cable Access News. I'm joined with 3 special guests today. We have Connie, we have Alicia, and we have Collie from Buckeye's Mission. Thanks for joining us today.
You.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Sure. Tell us a little bit about the guest that we have today who is available for adoption.
This is Collie. He is a pit mix. He is about 3.5 years old, and he is absolutely wonderful with children. So if you're looking for a family dog and you have children in the house, this kid is the best kid. Little kids, newborn, 1-year-old, 2-year-old, toddlers, he will go up to them, give them kisses, but he will tend to steal food from the little ones. I mean, like, not steal, but I mean, he would love to, he will beg food from the little ones, but not from the adults. Now with the adults, once you feed him, you can lay his food down and he will wait until you give him the command before he eats. So he is
Okay.
great in that sense, and he is a great walker. He walks well on his leash, and when he meets people, he is full of kisses. He will lean into you for attention, for love. He will freely offer you kisses, wags his tail really, really fast. It's just a happy boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's been with your organization for how long?
A couple of months, I would say, probably 4 or 5 months.
Okay. And he's available for adoption.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Tell me your part in it.
I'm the foster care.
Okay.
So he stays with me. I really don't have any problem with him. He has a little bit of separation anxiety, so he doesn't really like to be left alone too much.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're just sitting with the kids, he's just laying right next to me on the couch and will be a little cuddle bug.
And he likes to.
Oh, he loves the scratches.
Yeah.
He likes
I can
getting
see that.
attention.
You'll probably follow me out to my car and try to go home with me, won't you?
Oh, yeah. Any way he can get some attention.
Yep.
He loves it.
So what type of process is there that folks have to go through if they're interested in adopting Collie?
Sure. Actually, our email address is at the bottom of the screen. They can email me, and then I will answer those emails. And then what we do is we have a question and answer portion of it where, you know, we would just ask the adopters what they're looking for in a dog, and we try to see if Collie is a good fit for them. We try to find the best fit dog for the family and the family for the dog, so it has to be two ways. They could also call me, and my number is at the bottom of the screen as well. And we also have a website and a Facebook message, and they can also reach me through there. Again, my name is Connie. And from then on, if we determine that, you know, it's the right fit for a family and a dog, in that case, we would set up a meet and greet. And of course, Alicia would facilitate that since she's the foster mom.
Mm-hmm.
And go from
Pitts,
there.
they get a bad name.
Oh,
They get
they
a bad
do.
rap.
Yes, they
but
do.
By what I've known with him for the last 30 minutes here at the station, he is a lovable dog, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure he would make a very nice pet for anyone in the household. Now, does he like to be around other pets, or should he be by himself in the household?
Well, he is dog selective. He doesn't really, he's not too crazy about other dogs, and I think it's because of his history, his past. He was previously attacked by a couple of dogs.
Okay.
So, and I think he was still scarred from that, so he is not going to be a best buddy, although, like, if you approach him cautiously and do the proper introduction, he is tolerant.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. I think that would pretty much do it. I think he would be a great pet for someone, and hopefully you'll be able to adopt him out soon.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having
Appreciate
us.
it. All right. That'll wrap it up for this week's show. Thanks for joining me, and until the next time with your Brunswick Cable Access News, I'm Don Keating.
The preceding program was made possible through the use of equipment and facilities of Brunswick Area Television.